Hey YouTube, welcome back to Luke's Amateur Hour. Two things I'm doing in this video. We're going to do a wrap up for the Playhouse. I'm going to introduce a new series, and I'm going to do them in the opposite order of what I just said, right? So, got a new series coming at you. It is called Luke's Ridiculously Short Tool Guide. And what I'm going to do in that series of videos is give you my opinion on tools, either in general or very specifically in 1 minute or less. So you don't have to sit through my normally 15-20 minute review of a hammer. Because I do that. I would do that. Yeah, so stay tuned. I got two in the hop already. I'm going to finish up this Playhouse stuff and then get these going. And we'll see how it goes. I haven't done a series before. Speaking of hammer, let me grab a hammer, because that's the first thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about a couple lessons learned from building my Playhouse. So, I got a couple lessons learned I want to go over that I'm thinking they might help you guys too. I don't do everything perfect. I'm an amateur. If I was perfect at everything, I wouldn't be an amateur. Right? Or something. I don't know, man. Cheers. Anyway, the first thing that I learned is get the right damn hammer. So, this is the hammer I had. It's a 20 ounce Husky. It's metal all the way down. And the thing is, it's cheap Chinesium. And I was using a nail gun to put the Playhouse together, but with every swing of this thing, and I know how to swing a hammer, all right? Shut up already. I felt it in my arms, the vibration, this grip. It's a comfortable grip to hold, but it's not a comfortable grip with vibration. And so not only is it a little on the heavy side for me, and I'm a scrawny guy, whatever, shut up. I was feeling every single hammer strike, like actually feeling it. And I can get tendonitis sometimes, and I was killing myself with this. And I was killing myself with this just finishing nails that my nailer wasn't putting in because either I had too long of nails or I had too low a air pressure, whatever. I was tuning the thing. So what I did was, and I spent $10 on this, right? So what I did was I went out and I'm like, screw this. And I bought myself a Vaughn 16 ounce, which wood handle. My God, this thing's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's comfortable. It gives me the right amount of weight. I'm putting nails in just as fast as I was with my 20 ouncers. So less weight is less, what's the word? Power, energy. Mass times velocity is energy. So heavier mass, I don't have to swing it as hard. So I'd have to swing this to get the same amount of energy. But I tell you what, because of the wood handle and the way the head is formed, blah, 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 I'm getting a lot less vibration, a lot less fatigue, driving the same amount of nails. So spend an extra $10 or $12. I think this was 22 bucks. Spend an extra $10 or $12 and get the right hammer. You can get an American-made hammer for 20 bucks, 22 bucks. Don't buy the cheap crap. Buy a good one. Lesson number one. Lesson number two. Damn it, I'm low. Prep is 4 for me today. Sorry, guys. Know your measuring tape. What do I mean by that? So you Europeans look away. We're going to use the correct measuring system here. Although, standard measure is now based on metric, blah, blah, blah. Look it up yourself. Be comfortable with the measuring tape. I'm not going to teach you how to use a measuring tape in this video. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But what I will tell you is not everybody knows that the red numbers indicate 16-inch centers. So I'm pretty good at math in my head. We'll get to that in a second. But if you're studding out a building, your stud should be at 16 inches on center. And so if you just look for the reds, 16, 32, 48, 64. At this point, anything further, and, you know, it's kind of tough for me to know what the next one would be in my head. 80 inches and then 96, blah, blah, blah. So just know that on your measuring tape, it does some of the math for you, right? So there's 16 inches, right? So, and there's an extra little arrow and the numbers in red. And then, you know, the red numbers at the top, indicate how many inches past the nearest foot. So you got 2 foot 1, 2 foot 8, right? So you don't, know your measuring tape. Pretty simple. Helped me out a lot. Next is, and it kind of comes with knowing your measuring tape, but be comfortable with your plans. As I mentioned, I didn't have any plans on paper or anything. This is as close to an actual plan that I got for my Playhouse. Right? I mean, you can see I wanted an 8x8 square, 8 foot at the top, at the peak, 6 foot at the eaves, which if I did the math, that's 2 foot drop over a 4 foot distance. That helped me figure out my pitch on my roof and figure out exactly what the what that length would be. But even at that point, I was estimating that length and measuring, and this kind of reinforces my last point. But that's all the plan that I needed, right? And then what I did from that was I just made up a quick little materials list and made sure I bought enough stuff. I was comfortable with this plan. Not many people would be comfortable with just doing this kind of plan in their head and just coming up with the materials list in their head. My old man, he gave me some good pointers on how to do math in my head when I was a lot younger, and it really stuck for me. So I'm pretty good at doing math in my head. But if you're not, maybe you need a more detailed plan, and that's okay. Just know it and be comfortable with that. You can't go into something like this, a Playhouse, looking at a piece of paper you're uncomfortable with, right? And like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get this right, but let's go anyway. No, don't do that to yourself. Or if you're not comfortable not having a piece of paper, don't go into it not having a piece of paper. You won't be successful. Finally, and this comes down to, kind of reinforces what you're looking at here, know your required precision, right? I'm not building this to code. It's a playhouse for my kids. It'll eventually be a shed that I throw some tools in, right? I may not even ever run electrical to this. There's no plumbing involved. There's no insulation most likely going to be involved. It's all just rough. And if I got a corner out a square by 1/2 inch, whatever. I fudged the math enough to cover me on that. All right, so know your precision. If you have to build something that's going to get inspected, well, know what they're going to inspect for. If you don't have to build something that's going to be inspected, my best advice to you is make sure it's level and square as best you can. And it's going to stay that way, right? Make sure your foundation is good. But know what your requirements are for precision and level and squareness and all that other. And if you're wrong, know what'll go wrong if you're wrong. If I'm wrong on the Playhouse and it's out of level a little bit, well, freaking whoop-de-doo. I got a floor jack. I can jack it up in a corner. I've got some extra blocks laying around that I could prop anything up. So I'm going to keep an eye on it for the first year, see if the soil settles or anything like that. But I picked a spot where the soil is really, really stable because of the trees it's under. So, yeah, know your precision. So in short, the lessons learned are get the right hammer. And then the other 3 are just be aware of what it is you're doing and the requirements of that thing. Know your measuring tape, be comfortable with your plans, and know your required precision, right? Be good with the tools that you have. If you need more tools, go buy those tools, and that's kind of what the new series is going to help you cover. And look at some of my other tool reviews. But be comfortable with the situation. Don't go into it like really freaked out, right? Don't go into it and be really uncertain. Be like, you know what? This is the box that I gotta work inside, and as long as everything's inside this box, I'm good. Define that box before you go into it, right? And that'll really help with your confidence. And once you get your confidence, you're really gonna start blazing on moving stuff out. Anyway, I hope this helps. You tell me. stay tuned. I got that new series coming out, Luke's ridiculously short tool guide. And if you got any ideas for stuff you want to see a less than a minute review on, drop me a line. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Luke. I'm an amateur. I found a good Pilsner. Sly Fox Pikeland Pills. Anyway, this one didn't take me an hour. You guys have a good day.